What this state should be doing is saying, we welcome participation. We want to do everything we can to encourage all of our citizens and young people to be excited about voting, about caring about policy. But is that happening? No.
Hi, I'm Maxim Thorne. I'm the managing director of the Andrew Goodman Foundation. It's Byzantine to me to listen to some of the stories that we are depending on local counties to determine our right to vote in our democracy. That if I'm in a rich county, it's fine, and if I'm in poor, I can't afford a system that would allow me to do it. That's not right. And so what concerns me is that some of us think that's acceptable. It is not acceptable to be so Byzantine and so unfair within one state or one community. Now, on the purging. Purging is not so simple as I believe our friends from the League of Women's Voters seem to indicate, because it is subject to manipulation. The ways in which people go about purging could be like cross-check, which some of you have heard of, this notorious repugnant system that was removing people if they weren't an identical match with various other kinds of IDs. So if my name is Smith Williams, but on some IDs I have Smith-Williams, I'm purged because they don't match, right? Or if I happen to go to school in a different county, or I happen to go to school out of state. Therefore, I can be automatically moved. But young people, you know, at the Andrew Goodman Foundation, we focus on youth voting, with particular sensitivity to youth of color voting. That comes from our history. Andrew Goodman was a 20-year-old college student who went down during Freedom Summer to Mississippi and was brutally killed with his two other young companions by the Ku Klux Klan for trying to register African Americans to vote. So we take youth and youth participation very, very seriously. When you're talking about mobility, young people move even more, right? And so the greatest chance of getting knocked off of these voting rolls is if you're young and you got your first job, or you moved to campus and then you move back home, or you went to grad school. And so we see a disproportionate number of young people who get purged. And I think we need to understand that chart. This is about people who are already registered, not the population of who's eligible to vote. So that 54% is of people who are registered. That 54% is less than half of the people who could have voted that didn't register.
Yeah,
Tennessee is still
per registered voter.
but I just want to understand, don't let's get so excited. Tennessee is still among the worst in the country, 49th of 50th in voter turnout, right? And yes, it is amazing what the Equity Alliance and the Black Voter Project did. But understand how low the starting point. 9% of young people 18 to 25 voted in 2014. More than double that voted in 2018. We're talking barely 20% of people, of eligible young people. So great work, but let's understand where we're starting from and how that is still among the worst in the country, and so much to be done. And to note that with that low number, that overwhelmed Tennessee election officials, right? And the correction is not, how do we boost this even more? But maybe we should lower it, actually low, so that we can cope with low numbers. Outrageous.
Thank you for